Welcome to the Sage Thought Leadership Podcast, transforming the way people think and work so their organizations can thrive. Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. I'm Ed Kless, and with me today is Susan Bryant. Susan began her career as an internal auditor with Bank One Corporation, now JP Morgan Chase, and joined the BM Group LLC in April 2006 to lead the accounting services team, which delivers comprehensive accounting solutions to growing businesses. For the past 15 years, Susan has served her customers in a variety of capacities, with her favorite roles being that of architect of accounting processes, M&A advisor, and tax strategist. Susan's passion for transforming the lives of business owners by bringing order to finance function and alleviating the stress around taxes through proper and timely planning. Welcome to the Sage Thought Leader Podcast, Susan Bryant.
Thank you so much, Ed, for having me on.
Well, first, Susan, why do you do what you do?
Well, I believe that we have the ability to transform our clients' financial futures. And so that keeps me motivated every single day. Even though, as CPAs, we have a tendency to focus on all the tasks that we have to accomplish, we may get sidetracked by the details. There's so much of a bigger picture here. And I really do believe that all the small things that we do add up to amazing transformational change in terms of the direction of our clients' ability to accumulate, protect wealth. And so I just know that the work that we're doing is so much bigger than a tax return, so much bigger than an accounting report. It just really can have a lasting impact on people's lives.
And we've had a couple of conversations before we started recording this podcast, and you said you've been doing a lot of work lately with your customers with regard to some strategic planning, and you've identified a couple of challenges that seems to be fairly ubiquitous that many of them face. So share with me some of those.
Yeah, so we work with our clients routinely to develop sort of a plan on a page, if you will. What's your annual strategic plan look like? And it's crazy to me because there's been a few challenges that have been pervasive across all the clients. The first one is designing and implementing a business development plan. There have just not been a whole lot of focus for business owners to actually construct something with accountability, with metrics, in the business development space. So they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to pursue client acquisition, track leads, look at, customer lifetime value, like all the things that, if you really gonna dive into marketing and all the sales, leadership things that are out there, they just don't know how to do it. So they've been sort of going based on referral methods and kind of doing the same thing they've always been doing, but they don't know what else they could be doing. So this concept of now it's time to get serious about business development. They're very focused on it. Everything's on hair on fire growth mode right now, and they want to seize the moment, take advantage of everything they can and prepare for the future so they can make sure they've got a brand that people will come to.
All right, I'm going to stop you right there and just say this. I would not think that most businesses think, let me go to my accountant for sales and marketing advice.
Yeah, so maybe that's what makes us a little unique. So I am actually a CPA without a degree in accounting. I actually have a degree in marketing. So I spend a lot of time helping my clients to really kind of step back from the details. Everything relates back to money in a business, period, right? You're in business to solve a problem to make money. That's how it works. But we have to remove ourselves from the details and be more forward thinking. If we are in the background only and we're not helping the client to actually cast a financial vision, and that involves all the different aspects of their business, then we're not helping them the way that we need to be. And that's part of what strategic planning really involves, is kind of being more comprehensive in our focus.
So what is another key challenge that you see these businesses have?
Yeah, so I think this is probably everybody is facing this, is talent acquisition, talent retention. We all know the labor market's super tight right now, just finding people. But in the talent retention area, what I see is that businesses haven't spent a lot of time working on really defining what their culture is, what their mission, their core values, what that looks like, how they implement that across their organization, especially in these smaller businesses. They're just on the hamster wheel running the company, and they don't realize that they're building a culture. And they would like for that culture that they want to influence to continue to grow in some way. And so, the talent retention piece, people don't want to work for bad bosses. People want to go to a work environment where they like the other people that they're working with, where they can stand behind the mission of the company. They feel like there's purpose, there's value to what they're doing. And employers, small companies, they need to start working on this particular part of it. Otherwise, they're not going to retain awesome people. They're just going to go somewhere else where those things exist. So huge issue for businesses, and they got to get focused on it.
And what's been your experience with what has been called the Great Resignation or Great Reshuffle? Now is another term I'm hearing. Are some of those things due to businesses not opening up to new ideas about remote work and that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a piece of that, right? So they're trying to, they're not implementing as much flexibility as they need to. I think in some cases, the money is shifting jobs because it's just money. I think that's why the culture is so important, is because you have to, I think somebody referred to as fear of missing out, right? Like office FOMO kind of thing. Like you don't want them to miss anything in your organization. If they leave, they're going to miss so much. And you want to create an environment where they just can't leave. Like, I can't leave this because it's so awesome, because I don't know what the other side looks like. So I think that employers need to be really cognizant of the fact that people will move if it's not the greatest environment. It's an easy reason to say bye-bye.
Yeah, people want to know they're making a difference in some way, and I think it's interesting that so much of what we're hearing today around the millennial generation is that they want purpose in their life, and I think, well, I wanted purpose in my work as well. What makes this somehow different? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just more awareness about it. It's kind of hard to define too, because when I was starting out as a CPA. I didn't know what a trial balance was. I didn't know why I was doing tax returns. I was just told to do it, and I did it. You know what I mean? There was never really any focus on purpose. I figured it out, but it took a long time for me to understand it. I think that's just, maybe it's a little bit more of a shift in awareness overall, and maybe just in people in general and how they want to work. So, we do have to sort of adapt to the times, and especially in public accounting, where if we want to continue to attract anyone to this profession or keep the people who are in this profession, we're going to have to adapt too. And there's a revolution that needs to happen to keep people in public accounting. It just has to happen.
And what about a third challenge that your customers are facing?
Yeah, I think this is in a lot of organizations. It's, the scorekeeping. It's, the whole concept of what is measured is managed. And employers do not have metrics. They do not know when things are going right, when they're going wrong. They don't know how to measure the performance of people with a number. And so we're really seeing that, if I ask employers, or my clients, how do you know that things are going right in your organization? They don't. They have no idea. So it's really sort of getting back to basics on, let's measure certain things. Let's manage them. Let's set some expectations, accountability in the organization. And so we're really focused on helping our clients to get to the point where they can have a few key metrics that they look at every single month. And that helps them to know whether things are on track or not on track.
And we have an exit question we ask all of our guests, Susan, and that is, who is a hero of yours and why are they a hero?
Yeah, so I don't know if it's a certain person, but I have a great deal of respect for working mothers, especially single working mothers. I think they are tremendous individuals who find a way to get everything done that needs to get done and still nurture their children. And so I feel a certain passion for elevating and bringing a lot of just respect to working moms in general. I think they really give it their all, and they don't get enough credit for the contributions that they make, not only to the workplace, but also to their families.
And lastly, Susan, how can somebody contact you?
Yeah, so you can reach out to me, Susan Bryant. My email address, sbryant@mbgcpa.com, or on the web, www.mbgcpa.com.
All right, Susan Bryant with the MB Group LLC. Thanks so much for being a guest on the Sage Thought Leadership Podcast.
Thanks so much, Ed.
Review and subscribe by searching your podcast player of choice for Sage Thought Leadership Podcast.